From that all calculations, he given a simple proposal like this: electromagnetic energy can be gained or lost in discrete values and not in continuous manner. Means if you take any piece of metal or any material on heating, it not able to receive continuously. It can able to receive in the form of discrete values. Already we discussed 1 h nu, 2 h nu, 3 h nu. Like that it can able to receive. And one more, either emission or absorption. Either emission or absorption of light spectrum is a collection of group of wavelength. Means already every light either receiving or emitting. Means either absorption or emission. It is in the form of color of light or not. Then color of light means it is particular wavelength or not. That statement clearly given in a simple proposal. Right, children? Understood? We have an activity to discuss. So in the activity, first we have to take different compounds. So first I selected one compound CuCl2, either copper chloride or cupric chloride. So if you take cupric chloride with certain quantity and take that powder in a particular watch glass, means simply we can able to take in a particular plate which was made by glass, that we call as watch glass. Then add a little bit of HCl, hydrochloric acid. Then we can able to take the paste, means an adding of HCl to the copper chloride salt, it turns into paste. So the paste you have to take in a particular metal. The metal name is here platinum, right? Very costly metal, right? Take a particular platinum wire. That should be have to take in whole shape. Means that should be appearing in the form of ring or set in the form of circle, right? So simply we have to take the platinum wire and able to fold in the form of circle, that we call as loop. So what are the copper chloride added with the HCl, it is turns into paste or not? Then that you have to take on platinum wire. Then the total material we have to place on non-luminous flame burner. So from that luminous flame burner, if you place the copper chloride mixture on that, so it can able to give the green color. So on heating of particular copper chloride, right, we are getting green color or not, right? Then same thing, if I take strontium chloride, SrCl2, add a little bit of HCl to that salt, again it turns into paste. That paste you have to take on platinum wire. Then the total compound with platinum wire placed on non-luminous wire. Then on heating of or on getting of heat, this strontium chloride able to show crimson red color. Then one more, if you take the example of street lights. Now we have LED period, but in 20 years back we have street lamps with yellow color. So in that we are using sodium vapors. So sodium vapors able to give the yellow color light. Here we taken 3 different observations. Each compound is showing particular color or not. Then this was strictly observed by a group of scientists, or that all scientists or chemists, right? They decided each atom is characterized, or each atom is having a particular apparent color, right? So from that we can able to get a clarity. All atoms never give all colors. Every atom is able to show a particular color. So that is the observation of this particular activity. Here copper is in green color, strontium chloride in crimson red color, and sodium is in yellow color. Means each color is correspondent to a particular atom. So that is the observation of this particular activity. Right? Understood? From the activity, we clearly given one statement. The statement is each color corresponding to certain discrete wavelengths. Means for a particular wavelength, we can able to get a correspondent color of light, that is called as line spectrum. if we have a question, what is line spectra? Means simply a color of light corresponding to only certain discrete wavelengths of light is called light spectrum. Understood? Previous knowledge from 9th class, that is Bohr's atomic model. Already we have a knowledge. It is having a particular orbit, means electron is revolving in a particular orbit, right? Each orbit that we call as shell having a fixed energy, right? Same thing in 10th class also we have same, right? But we have to look once about that information. So what is Bohr's atomic model? In the 10th class we have to discuss clearly about hydrogen atom, right? How it is explained exactly, right? So here electron in an atom occupy stationary orbit of fixed energy at different distances from the nucleus. Means each electron is able to present in a particular stationary orbit, means it is in a circular one, right? Moreover, it is having fixed energy. Each orbit is having fixed energy, and moreover, it is having different distances from nucleus. For example, if you take that particular previous knowledge based figure, this one you consider as nucleus. This is the first orbit. This is the second orbit. First orbit is having a particular energy, and second orbit also having particular energy. Moreover, it is having certain distance or not. The distances are different or not. Same thing here mentioned. It is present with different distances with fixed energy. That fixed energy they mentioned as stationary orbit, right? Moreover, second thing, we discussed previously about emission and absorption. Emission means we simply called releasing, and one more is absorption, means we call receiving. So how it's possible? For example, if you take this one as E1, first circle we consider, means this first shell you consider as E1, and this one you consider as E2, means energy 1 shell, and this is energy 2 shell, second energy and first energy, right? Then when electron is jumping from inner shell to outer shell, so inner shell energy is less, outer shell energy is more. When electron is jumping from lower energy to higher energy, inner shell to outer shell, that we call lower shell to higher shell, means lower energy to higher energy, the energy is absorbed. Energy is absorbed, means lower energy to higher energy, no, it is required more energy that can able to receive from external source, right? In the same way, if electron is jumping from higher energy to lower energy, means outer shell to inner shell, then energy is excess. So the excess energy is ready to send out. So that we called simply emission. So same thing we have. An electron jump from a lower energy state to higher energy state, it absorbs the energy. Same thing we discussed, because here less energy is there, here more energy is required. For that, absorption is essential or necessary. Same thing, an electron jump from higher energy state to lower energy state, it emits the energy. Same thing, higher energy to lower energy. X energy should be released to the surroundings. So that is the condition from Bohr's model about stationary one, how absorb the energy, how emits the energy, right?